Previously on the Ark of Time.
Okay, I'll play nice. For now. Who are you?
I am. Wait, I can't have you thinking that playing nice is all that this is about. You've got quite the task ahead of you. I'm going to send you back forward, though a bit before your time, to collect Jessup.
Why before my time?
I'm afraid in his present state he doesn't make it all the way to your time. You're going to help him avoid that as well, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention that to him just now.
Where are you from, Mr. King?
New Covenant City.
I'm not familiar with it. Where is that at?
It's pretty far from here. Or maybe long from here. I'm not quite sure anymore.
Who's gonna look after my church while I'm gone, though?
I can guarantee that you will return at the precise moment that you leave, as long as you put on the pendant that Adam has in his pocket for you.
So, tell me about this place you're from.
New Covenant City?
Yes, do you have family waiting for you there?
No. Not really.
Well, I for one can't wait to get back to my wife and friends. Hopefully we don't have too many more stops on our journey.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't want to go home?
Let's just say that my current situation back home is less than desirable.
You're not a big fan of the church, are you?
Not especially, no. So you're some kind of angel then?
Not exactly.
Well, whomever you are, I'm glad that you brought us here so that we could help Job.
Yes, you did quite a good job with Job.
You two are going to be the death of me.
Don't say that, Adam. I've actually started to like having you around.
Yeah, you're not so bad yourself. Are we done with the mushy stuff now?
I suppose. Where are we going next?
Next, I'll be sending you just a bit into the future so that you'll get a chance to glimpse how things could possibly turn out. But remember that nothing is ever set in stone. Very well. Godspeed, gentlemen.
Man, these old pennants just aren't the same. All right, well, I suppose we better... What?
Adam, look out!
What? Where'd that come from?
Perhaps you should step out of the street.
A good idea. How fast was that guy driving?
The better question is, why was he driving at all? When are we?
I don't recall any Bible stories involving automobiles.
Nor do I.
Maybe we're back home?
Well, if I remember correctly, Britt said I would return to the exact moment in my office when we first met.
Yeah, that's right. And he also said we'd get some sort of treasure.
So we're not back home. Then what's going on?
Maybe it's these stupid pendants. They probably took us to the wrong place. Or time.
Perhaps, but then how come we're dressed appropriately?
Oh yeah, good point. So, he sent us back to the future on purpose then?
It looks that way. Maybe we should...
check our pockets?
Indeed. I've got a subway pass. You?
Looks like some sort of newspaper article.
About what?
Well, let's see. It says, local business owner arrested in New Covenant murder.
What? Adam, what's wrong? Adam, are you all right?
What? Oh yeah, sorry. It's just that, this story.
What about it?
It's about my father.
Your father was murdered?
No.
Well, then I don't...
He was a murderer, okay?
Oh, I see. So that story is about his arrest?
Yeah, I guess. I've never seen it before, though.
Why not?
I was just a baby when it happened, and my mom didn't really like to talk about it.
Who'd he kill?
I don't know exactly. Some sort of priest, I think.
A priest?
I never really felt the need to know the details.
Does that have something to do with your feelings on organized religion?
Maybe. I don't know.
Adam, I don't see what you're so down about. This is good news.
How do you figure?
Remember what Britt said? It's never too late to change the future.
But this isn't the future. It's the past.
For you?
What?
Well, that headline said the murder was in New Covenant City, which is where you are from, as I recall.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, since New Covenant City doesn't exist in my time, this must be the future for me.
So, you're saying we're supposed to prevent my father from murdering that guy?
It certainly looks that way.
Okay. Well, where should we start?
What's the rest of that story say?
Let's see. Robert King, 34, was arrested Saturday. Connection to New Covenant murder. Shocked Atlanta 1 month ago today.
In Atlanta?
Well, New Covenant City used to be called Atlanta.
Really? I live just outside Atlanta. What else does it say?
Nothing. It just says full story on page 4A, but I don't see a 4A.
Great. Well, that doesn't help very much then, does it?
No, not really.
All right. What's the date on that paper?
July 6th, 2006.
So let's hope that whenever we are, it is before June 6th, and the murder hasn't happened yet.
Well, let's find out. Excuse me, sir.
What?
Do you know today's date?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's the 12th.
What month?
February. That's why it's so hot. What, did you just wake up from a coma or something?
Maybe I did. What's it to you?
Whatever.
Thanks for nothing. Well, that was a lot of help.
I doubt it's really February.
You think?
You don't have an umbrella anywhere on you, do you?
Does it look like I have an umbrella?
Well, then we'd better figure out where we're going quick, 'cause I think it's about to rain.
How about that bar over there? We can get something to drink and maybe find out when we are.
Adam, I don't really...
Come on, Reverend. If I can go into the temple and pray with King Hezekiah, then you can have a beer.
Well, it just doesn't look good for a minister to be...
Didn't Jesus turn water into wine?
Well, yes.
And at that final dinner thing...
The Last Supper?
Yeah, he passed around the wine, right?
Yes.
So, obviously he was cool with alcohol.
In moderation, yes.
Okay, then what's the problem? One beer won't hurt you.
You're right. Let's have a beer.
All right, then.
Welcome, gentlemen. Hello.
Have you been in here before? You look familiar.
No, we're just visiting.
All right, what can I get you?
I'll take a beer, please.
What kind?
Whatever you got on tap will be fine. And I'll take a Pepsi.
Coming right up.
A Pepsi? I thought you were having a beer.
Nope, none for me. As you say, moderation is the key. And that's not really my style.
What happened to one beer won't hurt you?
It won't hurt you. But me, on the other hand, well, you've got to know your own weaknesses.
So you're a drunk?
No, I used to be. 2 years sober. Well, it was 2 years anyway.
What do you mean?
You remember how I told you that Britt found me in a bar? Well...
After 2 years? Why?
I had some pending matters that I didn't really want to deal with.
Pending matters?
Of the criminal nature.
Why am I not surprised?
It was all just a misunderstanding, really.
I'll bet.
Whatever. I'm sticking with it this time, though. I feel like a different person after these last few days with you and Britt.
Hey, do you notice anything strange?
What do you mean?
I mean, look at the decorations in here, all the flags and whatnot.
So, they're getting ready for Independence Day.
Yeah, but it's a little early, don't you think?
Maybe.
Here you go.
Hey, what's with all the decorations?
Yeah, I know. I need to get them taken down. It's been a whole week now since the 4th of July.
A week? Really?
Yeah, today's the 12th. Time flies, don't it?
So, it's July 12th?
I guess.
But that means...
We're too late to prevent the murder.
Well, then what's the point? What are we doing here?
You got me.
Thank you for joining us. Our top story tonight is the surprise guilty
Maybe we
plea
need to
of
go
murder
to-
case
Hey,
against local business
turn that
owner
up.
Robert King. The state of Georgia was rocked last month when prominent philanthropist Reverend Jessup Jones was murdered outside his Buckhead home.
What?
Did he just
The
say...
head of Christian philanthropy giant The New Covenant was referred to by many as the de facto mayor of Atlanta, and his death has been treated like an assassination.
This can't be.
A long and drawn-out
I gotta
trial
get out
was
of here.
expected, but the defendant surprised everyone
Hey, where are
this
you?
morning by entering a plea of
Great.
guilty at his preliminary hearing.
Here, keep the change. Preacher! Hey, where'd you go? Now what am I supposed to do?
Well, Jessup, I guess it's true. You really are, or I suppose we really are in the ground now. Or should I say, I am. This time travel stuff is starting to get old. Now I'm talking to dead people, except it's my dead self. Why couldn't you have just said no when that kid showed up at the church talking about treasure and whatnot? God, I'm really not sure how to pray about this. I'm used to helping others with grief, not myself. I guess I just need some help wrapping my head around the whole thing.
It is quite unnerving seeing your own grave, isn't it?
What? Oh, you. Yeah, it's definitely a new experience for me.
Yes, so I do apologize for bringing you here, but I'm afraid this little visit was quite necessary.
But shouldn't we have come back before the murder took place?
What good would that do?
Well, I thought we were supposed to be changing the future.
That's not exactly what I said now, was it?
Well, but I thought...
I'm simply giving you a glimpse into the future. What is done with that information is up to you.
Way to go. You sent us to the wrong time.
I was just explaining to your partner here that this is indeed where he is supposed to be.
Well, what good does it do us if he's already dead?
He is?
Yes, you're standing right next to my grave.
Well, if you're dead, then what are you doing walking around up here?
Well,
You're not a zombie, are you?
What?
Perhaps I'd better ring the police.
He's not a zombie.
Ah, well, that is a relief. When you said you were dead, I just assumed.
Yeah, well, you know what happens when you assume, don't
I
you?
didn't mean I'm dead right now, but... Well, I'm going to be. Just look.
Ah, so you're not dead yet.
Well, no,
You
but...
know, you two have a wonderful habit of answering your own questions. It's really quite remarkable.
What's he talking about?
I don't know.
Well, what question did you ask him?
I don't really... He disappeared again.
Figures.
What do you suppose we should do now?
I saw a library down the street. Perhaps we should see what we can find out about this murder business.
All right.
Look, man, I'm not really sure how to say this, but, well, sorry that my dad is going to kill you.
It's all right, Adam. It's not your fault.
I know, but still, I feel bad about it.
As do I.
Look at the bright side, though.
Which is?
Well, apparently we must get the treasure, because on that news story they were saying how you were the head of some big Christian philanthropy and had all kinds of money.
Yes, I suppose you're right then.
There's the library, across the street there.
Yes, I see.
Hold up.
What?
Nothing. Never mind.
So what are you thinking? Look at old newspapers or something?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Yes, we're looking for old newspapers.
How old?
Well, I guess the last 11 years or so.
Well, most of those should be on the computers down that way. Do you need help?
No, I think we can manage. Thank you.
They have newspapers on the computer?
That's right. I picked you up back in '95, didn't I?
Yes, that's correct.
So, you're probably not real familiar with the internet, are you?
Not really, no.
Don't worry, I'll handle it.
Good.
Well, let's see. You seem to have been a fairly high-profile person. Let's just Google you.
Google?
Yeah, it's a search engine.
A what?
Just never mind. Here we go. This looks like the New Covenant website. Ah, see? There's you.
I look older.
Yes, well, it is 2006 now.
Indeed.
Let's see. It says you're the head of this New Covenant group that runs some sort of housing project in Atlanta.
Housing project?
Yeah. Now, let's see. Looks like back in 96, your church got a very large, anonymous donation.
I think we know where that came from.
And you started the New Covenant. Over the last decade, your organization has expanded rapidly and now owns 80% of Atlanta.
80%?
Your website makes it seem like you're building some sort of Christian utopia, but not everyone shares that view.
What do you mean?
Well, looks like there are quite a few blogs here trashing your group as corrupt and using religion as a front for your real aims.
Which are?
Money and power.
What? I would never...
Jessup, you really should keep your voice down. This is a library, after all.
Is all this true?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
But I still don't understand why my father would want to kill him.
Well, in the course of Mr. Jones's pursuits, he has had to acquire a good deal of real estate. One such acquisition involved your father's business.
He owned a business?
Yes, a rather small restaurant that your grandfather started.
I never knew any of this.
Yes, well, your mother had a hard time talking about it after what happened.
So, I forced his father to sell the family restaurant?
Indeed, while expanding one of your churches.
Well, so that's not all bad then.
Depends on your point of view, I suppose. Most people in the neighborhood felt that tearing down a local fixture so that your church could have an unobstructed view of the rising sun was going a bit too far.
The rising sun? Why would I care about that?
Ah, yes, well... Here we are. See, you designed the eastern wall of the sanctuary with these cross-shaped windows. During Sunday morning services, the sun shines through and creates a cross of light on the altar.
I see.
So, now that you've had your little glimpse into the future, or the past, Adam, depending on your perspective, are we ready to move on?
Do we have a choice?
Probably not.
Quite well. There is one other thing that I'd like for you to do, Jessup, before you make your run for the treasure.
Just one?
That is correct, but for me it was the most difficult decision that I have ever had to make. You have the opportunity to change the way that things have turned out.
I think we already discussed this, and you gave us a typical non-answer, just like you always do.
Adam makes a good point. You're quite good at dodging our questions, like when we asked if you were an angel or a messenger from God before.
I most certainly did not. I told you that I am, which is something that I've been telling you and the rest of humanity since the beginning.
You are what? What kind of answer is that? We all are. Otherwise we wouldn't be,
Wait,
right?
You mean?
I think you've got it now.
But I don't. Will somebody please tell me what's going on here?
I can't believe the way that I've spoken to you.
I can assure you that others have said much worse.
Will someone please tell me what is going on here?
I'll leave that to Jessup to share when the time is right. For now, it's high time that you are on your way.
But where are we going this time?
Tonight's episode of the Ark of Time was written by Scott Strosahl. Adam King and Jessup Jones were performed by Greg Kilberger and Steve Rimpici. Additional voices were provided by Michael Helgens and Elizabeth Herb, and the music was courtesy of Kevin MacLeod. Until next time, good night from Stroby Studios.
Coming March 6th from Stroby Studios. A story of mystery.
Sir Charles was found dead on the grounds just 3 nights prior. He appears to have died of a heart attack, but it seems he was...
Intrigue.
He was the present lord of the manor here at the estate, and had plans to use much of his vast fortune to invest in the isolated districts surrounding the hall.
So there is a good deal of money at stake then?
You have no idea.
Deduction.
Well, I think it was quite obvious, really, Watson.
And a killer dog?
Watson!
I see him, Holmes! According to legend, the family is afflicted with a curse by a giant black hound that killed Sir Hugo some 200 years ago.
Don't miss the return of the Watson Files with the Season 2 premiere, The Hound of the Baskervilles.
What do you know of the bearded man who rode in your cab yesterday?
Nothing, other than he said he was the great detective Spencer Holmes.
Oh, really? Well, that is interesting.
Subscribe today at StrobyStudios.com. You won't want to miss a single episode.